come. And when you saw this whole presentation of the 54 statues of the men of science, religion, and spirituality, starting with the Jesus Christ, Tathagat Gautam Buddha, Mahavira, Shankaracharya, Santa Kabir, so many names I can take. I don't know what happened, but that person had some or the other, he had tears in his eyes, and he just embraced me. And he was from America. He told me that he's going back to America, highly enriched was the word used. I'm totally transformed, was another word which he has used. I don't know what made a change in him, what made the transformation. But that has been a very unique experience which was observed by me. I'm not claiming that we have done some miracle, but the miracle has happened. Some wonderful message has come, and for which it needs to be experienced. Science needs experimentation, and the spirituality needs the experiencing. So this dome from Sant Jnaneshwar to Albert Einstein will give a message to all of you, friends. Don't think that it is something like making some adhyatma or a spiritual message which I'm talking in the different sense, but I have a satisfaction. Thank you, Milind Pandey, Chitnis, Rahul, who took the lead and made it a presentation possible, interacting with all the great scholars, thinkers, and philosophers from the world over. This is a networking of minds coming closer and unifying the minds, may be the main purpose behind this. Thank you so much, friends. Thank you, Gautam. We have to perform our duty, is my only personal feeling. And let us go ahead with the united or unified minds, as has been said before. Thank you, friends. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I think it is apt time for all of us to rise in our seats wherever we are and give a standing ovation to revered Dr. Vishwanath Karad, sir, for his thoughts and thank you, sir. Thank you very much for creating this platform for us and showing us the path. I'm once again reminded of your words when you said that to a layman, these two personalities of Albert Einstein and St. Ganeshwara may appear to be of two extremes, in time and particularly nothing in common, but a closer look would be how their theories and philosophies tend to merge into each other. This is true for all highly revered spiritual and religious leaders and the eminent scientists of modern era. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for creating this platform of World Parliament of Science, Religion, and Philosophy. My friends, now it's time when we have reached to a point where this entire discussion of 7th World Parliament of Science, Religion, and Philosophy would culminate into a declaration. The main conclusion of World Parliament will be reflecting, and it is incorporated into the Declaration of Pune to be considered and adopted by the leaders and participants of this very 7th World Parliament of Science, Religion, and Philosophy. To read all the resolutions and the Pune Declaration, I would like to invite the head of School of Government of MIT World Peace University, Professor Parimal Maya Sudhakarji. Over to you, sir.
Revered Professor Dr. Vishwanath Karad, sir, respected participants of the World Parliament, the following is the Pune Declaration of 7th World Parliament of Science, Religion, and Philosophy. The historic 7th World Parliament of Science, Religion, and Philosophy has brought together the best of scientific knowledge, religious and spiritual pursuits, as well as philosophical dimensions. The biggest threat in the present times is the COVID-19 pandemic, but it also presents an opportunity to address underlying inequities and bring together communities for a concerted response in order to strengthen the process of peace building in the world. To achieve the goal of universal peace, it is essential to develop a sense of deep concern for all, irrespective of gender, religion, caste, creed, color, and geographical boundaries. Universal humanism is the essence to solve the global problems. All world religions are for world peace, and the superiority of humanity over matter and ideology shall be maintained always. India's spirituality is firmly rooted in the maxims of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and Loka Samastha Sukhino Bhavantu. By blending science, religion, and philosophy with sound reasoning and humanistic touch, India will continue to be a beacon of spirituality, harmony, and peace, in addition to retaining its status as a Vishwaguru. Following are the resolutions of the 7th World Parliament. This Parliament applauds the efforts by Indian government and various civil society organizations to accelerate the progress in achieving the 17 SDGs and its 169 targets by 2030, as well as their efforts in scaling up the nature-based solutions and actions to eradicate poverty and hunger. This Parliament appeals to policymakers, public health professionals, and researchers to convert the COVID-19 crisis into an opportunity for multilateral cooperation, joint partnership, and knowledge resource sharing to strengthen the healthcare services in the world. This Parliament appeals to all governments in the world to inculcate the peace-building curriculum into the university programs for constructive engagement of youth in conflict transformation and peace-building activities. This World Parliament resolves to stand up for human rights for all in the name of peace for all, and appeals to the United Nations Organization to unambiguously declare right to peace as a fundamental right of every human being. This World Parliament reiterates its faith in the proclamation made by Swami Vivekananda in 1893 at Chicago during the first Parliament of World Religions that union of science and religion oblique spirituality alone will bring harmony and peace to mankind. This Parliament appeals to all governments in the world to impart universal value education to children up to the age of 14 years, to imbibe values of mutual understanding, cooperation, tolerance, and human rights among them, to build world peace and harmony. This World Parliament upholds the fundamental principles of all religions that the foundation of world peace is laid on the inner peace of mind of each human being, and propagates the philosophy that when things change inside you, things around you will also change. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Professor Parimal Sudhakarji. And now, on behalf of the entire organizing committee, and not just that, 20,263 registered participants, the peace parliamentarians of 7th World Parliament of Science, Religion, and Philosophy, unanimously vote towards passing all these proposed resolutions. Let us give a big round of applause as we all, 20,263 parliamentarians, pass this resolution, all these resolutions unanimously. A big round of applause, my friends. Thank you. Thank you very much. With this, my friends, we are coming towards the end of a 7th World Parliament of Science, Religion, and Philosophy. But yes, the discussion, the deliberation, and the brainstorming continues. Let us quickly have a glimpse of the entire 7th Parliament, and let's have a quick look of what we have witnessed in the last couple of days. I request my technical team to kindly relay the film, which will give us the glimpses of 7th World Parliament of Science, Religion, and Philosophy. Thank you very much for that quick glimpse of 7th World Parliament of Science, Religion and Philosophy. I'm sure each one of us is reminded of the entire discourse of knowledge that we have had in last couple of days. Now it's time when I invite the Associate Dean of Faculty of Peace Studies at MIT World Peace University, Professor Milind Pathreji, to kindly propose concluding remarks. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, pranams. I feel deeply honored and humbled while presenting the concluding remarks in this historic 7th World Parliament of Science, Religion and Philosophy. With utmost reverence to Vishwadharmi, revered Professor Dr. Vishwanath Karad sir, and at the same time, deeply inspired by the dynamic leadership and vision of beloved Executive President Shri Rahul B. Karad sir, I would like to express your gratitude. How many Indians deeply felt the pain for not having sent Gnaneshwara and the likes of him in the list of the most prominent philosophers of the world? You will certainly agree with me, very few. And out of this very few, how many embarked on the journey to persuade humanity in restoring them to their dignified place? Only one, revered Professor Dr. Vishwanath Karad sir. The first World Parliament of Science, Religion and Philosophy, called as World Philosopher Meet in 1996, was a landmark occasion towards that noble goal. And the world now knows that Sant Gnaneshwara is not only a philosopher saint, but a philosopher saint par excellence. Since last 2 years, the world has no other option but to conduct its affairs virtually. And so does the World Parliament, also being conducted virtually in its last 2 editions. The key objectives of the 7th World Parliament are understanding the chemistry of mind, to understand what peace is, what brings peace, and how does peace help mankind. The 7th World Parliament of Science, Religion and Philosophy 2021 inspired all for Gandhian engineering, collaborations for creating peace and harmony for all life and planet, using technology for well-being, working together for various innovative ways of building and sustaining peace. It definitely created the much needed awareness that how the union of science and spirituality can help us afford the human rights, including the right to peace. It enlightened us about the importance of values, the role of religion, role of ancient technologies like yoga and meditations in modern scientific culture, and how individual peace is most critical ingredient for world peace. It has inspired many across the world to collaborate and work together using the philosopher Sant Gnaneshwara, World Peace Prayer Hall, and World Peace Library, World Peace Dome, as spiritually oriented scientific laboratory for the well-being of whole humanity. Besides the galaxy of eminent personalities from across the globe, the World Parliament also gave wonderful opportunity to about 19 young student peace ambassadors from across the world to share their minds and get inspired and inspire the world to work towards creating a much more peaceful and happy world. The World Parliament for sure helped in the evolution of individual as well as collective consciousness, which is the key for sustainable growth for the entire humanity. We are very proud to announce that a total of 20,263 registrations were there till yesterday for this World Parliament. We need to take a stand together and work towards peace now. It's now or never. There is only one earth where human life can exist. And it is said that we have enough arsenals to destroy this only planet 1,000 times. So yes, we need to take a stand now. This very moment, tomorrow will be very late. day after tomorrow may never come. Let's all pray and hope that in 2022, we all will be joining actually in the philosopher Sant Sri Gnaneshwara World Peace Dome, the superlative monument envisioned, designed, and executed over 15 years of relentless efforts by revered Professor Dr. V.D. Karad sir, which conveys the message of peace, divinity, and oneness, depicting the ancient Vedic principle, Ekam Sat Vipraha Bauddha Vadanti. The truth is one and only one. However, the wise and learned one call it by many names. So as we conclude the 7th World Parliament of Science, Religion and Philosophy, we again go down to the eternal solution provided by the noble son of India, Swami Vivekananda, that the union of science and spirituality alone will bring peace and harmony to mankind. Pranams to revered founder, Professor Dr. Vishwanath Ji Karad sir, and all the honorable governing council members and the entire organizing team, very well led by the convener and pro-vice chancellor, Professor Dr. Milind Pandey sir. Thanks once again. Pranams.
Thank you very much. Professor Milind Pandey ji, thank you very much for proposing concluding remarks. Now it's time when I invite the former Vice Chancellor of Nagpur University and former Vice Chairman of ICCR New Delhi, Professor Dr. S.N. Pathan sir, to kindly propose vote of thanks. Over to you, sir. Sir, you are on mute, sir. If you'll have to unmute yourself.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Friends, I'm really delighted to propose the vote of thanks for this mega event and a grand, very, very successful 7th Parliament for the world peace. My friends, for last 3 hours, we are enjoying the great feast of knowledge. Researchers, devotion, dedication in their work, and whatnot. I feel I can conclude. I was very careful listening to all these great stalwarts. I must mention their names, and it's my duty. Swami Gyan Vatsal ji, Dr. Vijay Bhatkar ji, Professor Dr. Vishwanath Karad Sahab, Shri Annamalai ji, Rama Jayasundar, Dr. Sheshadri Chari, Dr. Abraham, Dr. David, Dr. Sushil Sharma ji, and our own beloved Guru, Professor Vishwanath ji Karad Sahab. Sir, I think is a really dream to the higher education system of the world. Professor Karad Sahab has given the great agenda to the higher education system of the world. And same thing he repeated in Salt Lake, in the World Parliament, that it is a time to actually adopt a new higher education system which include the components of the modern science and the principles of religion or spirituality. And what I'm observing and listening, the exact mind of Professor Karad Sahab, these great stalwarts, they were telling for last 3 hours. So, sir, this is the beginning actually you have made in the world. And I remember still, when our country got the independence, then it was discussed at large that what should be the education system. And that time it was said that our country is a very diverse country, having all the religions, and therefore we cannot teach the students a particular religion. But and we adopted this secular constitution. It's all right, respect to that. But I remember that, and I must mention, Maulana Azad, Abul Kalam Azad, the first education minister at that time said, oh God, if there is no religion in the education, then I cannot imagine that system may be united. and what we are experiencing. If we are taking higher education, if our wards they are taking higher education, and it's of no use to the individual family, to the society, and ultimately to the nation, what is the use of that education system? And therefore, the time has come that what Professor Karar Sahab is telling for last so many years, right from the beginning. He is the great disciple of Swami Vivekananda ji. And Swami Vivekananda said that all religions are created by God. And let these religions must remain. Because they have been, the messengers have been sent by God and in that religion, in that region at that time. And then whatever the flag you may be having of your religion, it may be green, it may be saffron, it may be blue or yellow, but come together. And we will convert all the color of all those flags into a white color that is the love and humanity for everybody. And my friend Professor Karar Sahab has actually created that dome for the same thing. And this is the beginning of India will be a Vishwa. This World Peace University is a real representation of the Indian culture. That is our Indian culture. That is worldwide. That is Vishwatmak Indian culture. And I'm sure not only the yoga and Ayurveda, but also we have the great family system. We have also the Indian music system that is vocal or instrumental. And my friend, this country has to give now the path of the peace and the world peace. And it is the Professor Karar Sahab has given a great agenda to our all professors and students that now our further education system will be based on the spirituality and science. I'm so delighted. And really it was a 4 days, very big conference. And on behalf of organizing committee, on behalf of Professor Karar Sahab, on behalf of Praveen Karar sir, and these people who are working for the last 4 days, we are grateful to these all stalwarts and speakers that you have participated, sir, in this conference and motivated us, actually, the workers who are working here as a faculty or as a staff. And we will definitely make the dream of Professor Karar into reality. Thank you very much. Thank you all, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. My friends, the 4 days, the 7th World Parliament of Science, Religion and Philosophy, all had 4 key takeaways. I'm sure every participant, the number itself was so huge, 20,263 participants, parliamentarians of this World Parliament, to stand on the common ground of universal moral principles, promoting reconciliation and overcoming the barriers of building peace, form a global network representing the diversity of the human families and all disciplines of human endeavor, promote cooperation beyond boundaries of religion, race, ethnicity, and nationality, and to learn about the diversity of religions, viewpoints, philosophies, and how its union with science can bring peace to mankind. I'm sure every parliamentarian must have taken these 4 important points in their hearts from this 7th World Parliament of Science, Religion, and Philosophy. My friends, with this, we come towards the conclusion of this season of Parliament, and we commit ourselves to meet once again in the 8th World Parliament of Science, Religion, and Philosophy. We will conclude this Parliament session today with National Anthem. I request everyone to please rise in their seats for National Anthem.
Jai
Thank you. Thank you very much. Before I conclude, I would like to thank everyone in the audience, all 20,263 participants, everyone from the press, media, those who have given wide coverage to 7th World Parliament of Science, Religion and Philosophy, everyone, those who have rendered their services and their contribution would be well remembered. Thank you. Thank you very much once again. With the permission of revered Professor Dr. Vishwanath Karat, sir, we would now like to conclude this session. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Technical team, you may now conclude this session.